Hey guys, it's Asha with Rice and Raw, and I've noticed that since I've been on 80-10-10 for almost a year and a half now, it's kind of fun to experiment, and I've noticed a lot of people who's in the same boat as me, who's been on 80-10-10 for over a year. They've been experimenting with different things, like a bit of higher fat, a bit of higher protein, just trying to find their own personal balance, and I think this is great. So what I have been doing the past 2 weeks is a bit by accident, and I've just went with the flow, and it is not eating enough calories on 80-10-10. This started because my appetite has just been zero, like nothing, like no interest in food. Sorry, I'm like so out of it. Like I'm so undercarved. It's terrible. Okay, so I just haven't been eating enough. I've been eating around 2,000 calories a day, which, is like more than I used to eat when I ate a standard American diet. But when you're eating predominantly plants and vegetables and starches, you need a lot more calories, a lot more food to get enough nutrients. And because it digests completely differently in your body as opposed to meat and dairy and eggs. So it's in and out of your body within, at maximum, 17 hours. And that's someone who eats a cooked 80-10-10 diet. So, I mean, you can imagine if you're fully raw, it's coming out within 10 hours. So it's not really sitting in your body. It's going through pretty fast. So you need a lot more food. And I really get so upset at the people who say, oh, no, don't force feed yourself. You don't have to eat the recommended 2,500 calories. And these are always people, usually people who are just started eating 80-10-10, who have only been on 80-10-10 for a couple months, or even have already fallen off the wagon. So I don't know why you would listen to someone who doesn't even eat 80-10-10 anymore, trying to give advice, because they obviously weren't able to stay on it for long enough, and they did not achieve success on it, obviously. So I thought, I don't have a lot of, I don't have an appetite, don't feel like it. Why should I force feed myself? There's no point if I don't want it. Obviously, I don't need it. Well, that's good in theory. But the past 2 weeks, I have been tired, lethargic, grumpy. I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm totally different from my other videos right now. I just am tired. I'm angry for no reason. And getting up out of bed in the morning, terrible, so hard. Like I don't want to get up. And this is a big change because I haven't had an issue getting up out of bed for a year and a half now since I started 80-10-10. But now I'm just like, no, I want nothing to do with the alarm. It's terrible. And I'm usually just pop right out of bed, like, but now it's just, I'm taking my time, waiting for the next snooze alarm to go off. And, that's no way to live your life. That sucks, I've even been I just don't want to think too deeply. I don't want to be as engaged in my life as I usually am. And that's probably why I haven't been around on Instagram or YouTube as much. I've gotten a lot of messages. I haven't even been able to read them yet. It's just, I'm so undercarbed. I'm not cut out, for helping others. I need to help myself. And I definitely don't recommend eating under 2,500 calories. It's not a good route to take on 80-10-10, because that is why most people fall off the wagon. And I understand now why people fall off the wagon. If you start 80-10-10 and you might be going through a little bit of detox and you're not eating enough and you feel like this, well, I mean, obviously you're going to be like, this diet doesn't work, because I don't feel very good. If I started this diet and started feeling this way, I would be like, it's not really going to work for me. But if you eat enough, guess what? All of a sudden you have all of this energy, you feel great, and all of a sudden the diet starts to work for you. So to all the people who have quit 80-10-10, who are still playing with the idea of it in their minds, maybe come back to 80-10-10 and actually do it right and eat the 2,500 calories a day, plus, and really commit to it. I know a lot of people fall off the wagon pretty quickly because they've started to gain weight, they can't deal with the detox symptoms, and obviously they are not eating enough food. I mean, don't end up like me, kids. I'm just miserable, so tired, obviously not very happy. So, I'm just going to focus the next couple of weeks carbing up, making sure I get enough food. And for the people who are worried about the weight gain and, they're trying to lose weight, they're not trying to maintain weight like I am, so they should be eating less, right? No, not necessarily. Since I've cut my calories, I haven't really lost much weight at all. Maybe I might have lost a pound. It's kind of hard to tell just because, the scale fluctuates. Sorry, someone's outside. They just totally distracted me and I can't focus on anything because I'm so undercarbed. Oh my god. But to be honest, if I started eating enough, which I'm going to start doing, I'm not going to put on any weight. I mean, maybe put it back on that pound, but I mean, I'm not going to gain weight if I eat enough food on 80-10-10. Yeah. So don't do this at home, kids. And it's always good to experiment, though. It's always good to see, what little tiny changes in your diet will do to your well-being. And I suggest if you want to start playing with it, if you've been on 80-10-10 for over a year, you feel very comfortable with it, then, do a little tweak here and there. Don't, all of a sudden start eating protein powder and then tons of avocados at once. Do small little changes to see the nuances of how it affects your body. And then decide for yourself if it's going to work for you or not. I've experienced with some protein powder like a month ago. It was nice. I like the taste. Sun Warrior chocolate protein powder, awesome. Made me really gassy and it was really gross and I wanted nothing to do with that. So, and I didn't really notice much of a change otherwise, so I figured there's no reason to be having it for me personally with my goals in mind. Except for, I can understand if I went to the gym and I was, trying to put on some muscle, which I actually do want to do. I would have some protein powder after, and I think that would be fine personally for me, and you need to decide if that would be fine for you. Obviously, protein powder, it has to be vegan or else it's shit. And it's just going to make you bloat out, and, that's what bulking's called. So, yeah. Sorry, long video. Kind of an array of thoughts just floating around. If you guys have experience with also not eating enough on 80-10-10, share your experience below, and remember that this is my experience. It's not, I don't know if this is going to happen for everyone, but if you're not eating enough calories in 80-10-10, as far as I know, you're going to end up like me, slow, sluggish, tired, not having fun with things. And eating 80-10-10 should be in abundance. It should be fun. And yeah, it kind of does suck every once in a while when you're full enough, you don't really feel like any more food, and yet you make sure you do eat because it doesn't seem natural, right? To kind of force feed yourself. But to achieve that level of energy and happiness, I think that's worth it, honestly. And you know what? We live in such a strange society right now. If we were all sitting around in the tropics, chilling and eating fruit, it'd be a lot easier to get in enough calories during the day than it is if you're running to work, studying for school, going to school, whatever you're doing. It's all schedules, all this stuff. It's hard to really sit there and enjoy your fruit, as opposed to if you're sitting around with a bunch of people, hanging out, eating mangoes galore. You're probably going to eat a lot more because, you're just relaxed and you have nothing else to do but just eat mangoes and talk and share stories. So, I don't know why, that's always an image in my head, just sitting around with a bunch of people eating mangoes all day long in the tropics. Okay, really long video, I'm sorry guys. Okay. So hopefully next time you guys see me, I'll be a lot more happy, a lot more interesting, and nice. And I will see you guys later. Make sure you carb up. Make sure you have enough calories on 8-10-10. So important. Bye, guys.